Jane Doe just dropped yesterday and I've been bombarded with questions. Where should people stop on our banner? What cinemas are worth to go for? And I usually do this with banners and they're usually appreciated. So let's talk about it. Hello everybody, my name is Hako and welcome into the channel. So, Jane Doe just dropped and I had the worst pulling session I've ever had on any banner so far. Link to that video down in the comments. But I did manage to snag up a few of her. So, when it comes to Jane, she is in a little bit of a unique spot where like every freaking cinema is like freaking goated, but there are actually some that are more goated than others. And resources are scarce, and people spend their hard-earned resources and hard-earned money to get the characters. So what will bring you the most bang for your buck when it comes to Jane? Well, Cinema 1, Crime Council. The maximum uses of basic attack, Soldier Jump are increased by 1, while in the Passion stage, Jane's physical anomaly build-up rate increases by an extra 15%, and each point of Jane's anomaly proficiency increases her damage by 0.1% up to a maximum increase of 30%. Now, this is a good cinema. This is a good cinema. Historically, with the earlier banners, we've been seeing characters kind of having a stopping point at like Cinema 2. And only like really hardcore whales should go past that. Now, this is not a bad Cinema 1 at all. Although I will say, if you're debating whether to go for cinemas or her weapon, if your stopping point, like your initial thought is like, oh, I'll get 2. The most bang for your buck is probably gonna come from getting her W engine instead of Cinema 1. Cinema 1 is good. It's not a crazy increase in power. I'd say that the W engine is a bigger increase. However, her Cinema 2 almost skyrockets Jane's damage by 50%, and like this one is massive. So, adapt to the environment. When Jane's attack hits an enemy in the Gnawed state, which is what every enemy ends up in after they suffer any form of attack from Jane, or when any squad member triggers assault on an enemy in the Gnawed state, 15% of the enemy's defense is ignored. Additionally, when assault damage triggers a critical hit, so that's kind of Jane's thing, she can make the assault status actually crit. The crit damage dealt is increased by an additional 50%. Now, the crit on Jane's assaults has like a base value of 50, so this doubles that and like puts it up to 100. And this is a massive increase to Jane's power. Like I said, it adds on almost like 50% damage to her entire kit compared to C0. So, this, I would say, is the ideal stopping point. If you're planning on, like, you know, just wailing a little, just pulling a little, and only going C1, I would, if you want the most bang for your buck, if you want the most powerful Jane, I would then advise going for the W engine. But if you're planning to go past C1 and go for C2, that is a perfectly good stopping point. Now, C4, well, C3, basic, it just levels up everything. C4, when any squad members triggers the assault or disorder effects, all squad members attribute anomaly damage is increased by 18%, lasting 15 seconds. Now, this one is good. I'd say it's one of the better C4s that we've seen. Although, as per usual, it kind of pales in comparison to C1 and C2. So, like, it is good, but yeah, my stopping point, unless you're very loaded, would be C2. But if you want to push past C4, there's a very attractive C6 just waiting for us. Shady Technique. While in the Passion state, Jane's crit rate is increased by 20% and crit damage by 40%. After any squad member inflicts assault, Jane instantly enters the Passion state and gains max Passion stream. When assault triggers a critical hit, Jane performs an additional attack on the target, dealing physical damage equal to 1,600% of her anomaly proficiency. This is obviously crazy, probably the craziest C6 that we've seen so far. Obviously, be very aware that to get the character C6, like we are talking upon, like with normal luck, like we're talking over $1,000 usually. Unless you're a really lucky sausage, they might get it early. But yeah, obviously whale territory, I'd advise anybody to stay away. And I'd instead say stop at C2. Now I recommend her W engine because her signature W engine is actually miles better than anything we have in the game currently. Calculations are still being done on like what's her next best, but there isn't really like a super valid option for her. Fusion compiler, which is Grace's signature one, it works. It's not great because Jane doesn't do enough EX special attacks to stack this up to like its max value, so a lot of the value will be lost. Kind of the same with Weeping Gemini, although it is definitely like it is definitely a valid option. Now we do have the Battle Pass one, which is the Lip Gloss Electro Lip Gloss, and this one is super freaking good. But even this one trails quite far behind her signature W engine. Her signature is just that good. There are options in the game, but none that comes really close to her W engine. So yeah, stopping points. C2 is excellent. C1 is good, like don't get me wrong. But if you're gunning for C1 with a chance of losing the 50-50, maybe it's a wise investment to take the 75-25 on W engine banner instead. But if you're going to C2, that getting her to C2 is gonna be a better increase for her overall than just getting her W engine. So, hope you enjoyed this, people, and I'm putting together a full-length Jane Doe guide. I'm also putting together like a simpler one, like basically Jane Doe for dummies, so please look forward to that, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hako out.